My name is Aguirre. I am the programming coordinator for Collective Voices Foundation. Our mission is to collaborate with college students, artists, youth activists, and other people in the community to promote the voices and consciousness and the education of under-resourced students.
Hi, I'm Natalie Patterson. I'm Director of Poetry for Collective Voices Foundation. And my job is to teach kids how to write poems and hopefully inspire them to think creatively and write their stories and express and tell the world what they often don't.
We have 4 different kinds of kids that attend Learning Works Charter School. We have pregnant parenting teens, we have in-school dropouts, and probation youth. And those are the 4 populations that we cater to. I think poetry serves this demographic because in the hood or the ghetto, so-called, they don't express their emotions. Being an emotional person or letting people know how you feel is looked down upon in that community. So I think it helps them release emotions that have been caged in for a while.
Grandmother, our common thread began in my mama's womb. Spun my fetus like a record in her cipher, sampled your stubborn and mixed in her father's posture. Our connection is full circle. Abuela, you bear of children, you seer of spirits, you are truly miraculous.
So the reason that I bring people in who are professionals is so you guys can see what's possible. Is that Maida and myself, and none of us are any different. We started somewhere too. The only difference is you guys have instruction and we didn't.
It provides an outlet for kids to express themselves, to tell their story, and it encourages literacy. You know, when kids see contemporary poets that are explaining themselves or telling their stories in a way that they can relate to, and that they're familiar with, you know, with a familiar cadence or a certain kind of musicality, or dealing with certain issues that these kids already identify with, then it gives them permission, it gives them the opportunity to say, well, I can tell my story too.
Mommy's making mambo, it was there in my mother's kitchen that I learned more than just how to cook. It's where I learned the essence of rhythm and power. I learned to dance in that kitchen. She would return to singing and doing the shuffle from sink to stove, stove to sink, tasting and testing her masterpieces, answering questions like, Mommy, how do you make arroz con gandules? Mommy, how do you dance merengue? Because Mommy is making mambo. The way to a man's heart is through his stomach and your hips. So you better learn how to cook, mija. I learned to dance in my mother's kitchen, and I got all the secret recipes. 2½ cups of caderas, a pound of gyrating pelvis, a pinch of pursed lips, a tablespoon of shaking shoulders, and a generous helping of soul. Combine and mix. This is the recipe for ritmo. You see, we like our food the way we like our music. Hot, spicy, satisfying, con sabor, baba.
I can express myself in a way that people will understand. I don't have to sound academic or stuffy or stiff, or I don't have to sound like, you know, some of these boring things that they make us read in school. And I think it makes poetry relevant. You know, then it gives them an entry point, an entryway into saying, well, you know, maybe I can go back to school and understand those stuffy, kind of boring pieces that we're forced to read in a different way.
I started during the summer, so Collective Voices really helped me, you know, with the stress problems, you know, communicating with everybody, feeling comfort from everybody's poems, and I'm sure somebody felt comfort in mine too. So that's what I feel. I feel like we're all family and we all could tell everybody, you know, anything.
Everybody in the class is the same but different. Everybody's in a different situation. Like me, I grew up in a home where my parents, they would not get along. I believe by doing this, other people will be encouraged to do poetry themselves and expressing their feelings in different types of ways.
Poetry to me is, like Andrew says, a cheap form of therapy, and it actually does help. Just getting everything out and putting it on paper and just, I guess, creating your own artistic way of telling your life and just letting everything out there. And once you read it, I guess everybody else feels what you feel, and for a minute or two, it's just like, it just goes away.
When I started with Collective Voices, I was shy, I didn't want to read. I made everybody turn around and not look at me while I was reading my poem. Now that it's almost to the end, I've turned into a better person.
In what ways?
Well, I open up more, I'm not shy, and I do get up and read my poems.
And
kids that are, you know, not all that good with sharing, and they're really hidden, and it helps us open up and see who we really are.
I share my own stories, my own poems, I tell them my own techniques, and encourage them to discover their own way of expressing and describing where they come from and their stories and the things that they've gone through, because often they don't think there's any validity in what they're saying. They think their experiences are normal just because everyone they know's stories are similar, but there's a lot of people who don't share those stories and who don't have those that kind of pain, who don't have 2 kids at 20. So it's important that they can express those things and know that someone is willing to listen. So I just encourage them to find their voice, and it happens to be through poetry, and then that's when the magic happens.
Overall, my experience has been awesome, exciting. You know, I got to perform at the Poetry Lounge thanks to Angie and Natalie.
People die of disease every day as if death had an extended quota. I wish there was a remote to control every person's action, but cursedly, we're living in a world filled with evil, yet filled with noble actions. Yeah, you're starting to get an idea of what kind of man I am. I am a man filled with desire to help. I am a man filled with a desire to help mankind in any way possible. A man full of love, love that is waiting to extend to its full potential. Some have named me insane, but because they're conservative. Others are with me because they have the same belief. But don't hate me when I express my beliefs, when I say we all deserve equal opportunity, because I am only human. Peace.
You know, I've said before, it was very nerve-wracking, but you know, I got to say what I felt.
I want to come again, man.
Yeah,
that shit was
definitely
dope.
What did you guys like about it?
Everything is like poets,
yeah.
active, man.
The poets were real. Like they weren't all like just like high school kids, like trying to like.
Would it surprise you if I told you a lot of those people started at your age?
Hell yeah.
No, I wouldn't be surprised.
What'd you think, Edwin?
Practice makes perfect.
It inspired a lot of people.
Did it inspire you?
Yeah, it inspired me a lot.
I'll make you calm.
Our hope as a foundation is that the shift in consciousness that poetry offers, combined with the support of our mentors, could possibly change the course that these students choose for their own lives. You know, we're not here to give them a voice, or give anyone a voice for that matter, through poetry. What we're here to do is remind them that they have one.